start with the topic of parenthood. Okay, parenthood, this is where we left off in the last class. And what's parenthood? We will see them together, and based on that, we're going to answer some questions later on. First, when we talk about parenthood, we're talking about parenting. That it means meeting a child's physical, emotional, social, and mental needs. Okay, let me reiterate that. When you are a parent, or when you become a parent later on in the future, you will have the responsibility of meeting these needs: the physical, the emotional, the social, and the mental needs. We have talked about these needs before. If you remember, when we saw the health triangle, we saw what these needs mean and what each of them requires for you to be healthy. But what is the meaning of the word meeting the needs? That means fulfill, to finally feel that you have completed those needs and you don't need more of certain things. So in this case, parents normally watch excitedly as children grow and develop over the years. You know that if you talk to your parents, if you ask them what is the greatest happiness of their life, probably not right now, but in a couple of years, they will tell you that the happiest moment in their lives will be probably one of these three things. Okay, one of these three things, if not the three. The first one is when you graduate from the university and you become a person with a career, because they will feel that they help you out to fulfill all of your needs, and now you have accomplished a goal, that you are what you wanted to be, either a doctor, a lawyer, a mechanic, well, or an engineer, or you wanted to be probably a psychologist, whatever you want to be. Your parents will feel really proud and really excited to see you finally with your university title and going to your graduation, etc. The second one will be when you get married, okay? Because they will be really happy when you get married. Parents, normally they cry when any of their child get married. So that will be one of the most emotional moments in which they are going to have. As well, probably when you get another achievement, either like, for example, you get a new job, you get a really interesting job, or you start a business and you're successful, they're going to be excited at you. Or anything that their children do, parents are always excited and happy, because that means that they are doing a good job. When they realize that their kids have doing something worthwhile, that means that they have invested well the time, the different teachings that they have invested in the kids, and all the things that they have been doing. So when the children act something important and grow up to be amazing adults, they feel great satisfaction. There is no greater satisfaction that a parent will feel like when a person tells him or her, your son or your daughter is an excellent person. It's an amazing worker, it's an amazing student, it's a really excellent human being in all the aspects that you can imagine. When parents listen to that, they feel so proud, believe me. You will see that your parents will feel so proud of you later on in life. And right now they are proud. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that right now they are not proud. They are, because they appreciate you and love you as you are and for the things that you do. But when you reach your dreams and you make them true, the things that they see you fighting for and they see you wanting for, they are going to feel really proud of you. And they are not going to be able to stop smiling for a long time, okay? So one of the things, these are the roles of the parents, okay, to fulfill the needs and also to feel realized when a child becomes a really amazing adult. That's one of the things that they are proud for. But there is a thing that they should follow or they should fulfill, that is the parent's contract. When you become a parent, it's like when you sign a contract for a social network site. What do I mean by that? Probably some of you have Facebook, some of you may have Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Tumblr, any other social media you can imagine. When you create an account in any social media or in a social media network, you will be asked to sign the terms and conditions of agreement. So basically, it's like if you probably will never read that. We never read the contract that says, when you use this social network, you are allowing us to do this and that, to use your information in a certain way, to have access to this and that, etc. We never read that. We just want to do it and that's it. In the case of parents, it's not that they receive a contract and they have to accept, but unconsciously, they receive a contract. And there are many things and regulations that they should take into consideration to raise a child. In other words, For a parent, to be a good parent, they need to know that there are certain things they should grant their kids to make sure that they are happy, well, and they develop normally. So first is take care of their physical needs, okay? When I talk about your physical needs, remember that I'm not only talking about your body, and I'm not only talking about your physical shape or your weight or something like that. I'm talking about everything. And what do I mean by everything? I talk about your diet. I talk about your physical condition. I talk about your health in general, that you don't have any medical condition that requires a lot of attention and care, and many, many other things. And physical things like, for example, giving you clothes, giving you things to wear, giving you shoes, haircut from time to time, that is your physical need as well. But first, we're going to focus on get nutritious meal, okay? A nutritious meal. As you know, if you have seen in science, or you will see it later on in science, there's a pyramid of nutrition, right? In which you have all the different foods and all the different items that we have that in the nutritious value, okay? We have the dairy products, we have the meats, we have the proteins, we have many, many different things. But I don't want to bore you with that. In the case of a parent, they need to take into consideration what is the most nutritious option for their kids. You will always see that parents tend to struggle to make their child eat vegetables, especially at a young age, because you know that we like to eat the things that are more dangerous to us. Tell me later on after I finish explaining, but tell me if we don't like hamburgers, if we don't like pizza, if we don't like all those kinds of fatty foods and junk foods. We love them. But our parents know that they are not good for us in the long run. They know that if we eat those things nonstop, we are going to have a lot of issues later on in life. In teen health, we talk about this. Remember when we talk about what will happen if you eat a hamburger each single day, you will have problems with your heart, with your arteries. Therefore, since your parents know what kind of effects these kinds of foods will have in your life, they will at home, at least, they will try to keep a nutritious diet, okay? Like giving you vegetables, meats, rice, eggs, milk, the things that are more nutritious to you, because they will help your body to develop more defenses, to develop better, and also to make sure that they work in a proper way. Thank you very much, Alan, for the like. They will have clean clothes. What do I mean by clean clothes? And I will tell you my personal experience. When I was a kid, my mom would tell me, you will never, 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 never go out of this house with dirty clothes. Never. Nor with a dirty shirt, nor with a dirty pair of shorts, nor with a dirty pair of pants. No, no, no way, Jose. The reason why is because they care on how you look. You may think, why do parents cut your hair when you are just a little baby, just a little kid? Because they care on how you look. They care on how other people will see you and the image that you're going to portray to them. Therefore, when they buy you clothing, they will buy you the best clothing that they can afford. Probably not the best clothing in the market, not the best brand or not the most expensive, and not the one that you like, but probably the one that you need. What do I mean by that? That your parents are going to buy you something that probably is the best thing that they can afford for a certain price, and at the same time is the best thing in quality. So that means that they are going to buy you something that is going to be good, comfortable, and it's going to last you a long time. And finally, they need to provide shelter. Why do I mean by shelter? I mean a place in which you are safe. Safe about two things, okay? Safe about the environment, okay? Safe about the heat, about the cold, about the water, about the rain, about the thunders, and different things that are part of Mother Nature. Like, because if you're in your house, even though it is raining or it is a thunderstorm is raging outside, you're going to be safe at home. And that is one of the points that they will give you shelter, and not only shelter of the weather conditions, but an emotional shelter, okay? An emotional shelter. You probably have seen in movies or in TV shows that when people feel bad because of what's happening on their lives, probably what's happening on school, what's happening on the things, on the jobs or different stuff, they say, I want to go home. Or when in movies somebody's scared, they say, I want to go home. But why do they want to go home? Because at home you feel safe. At home, you know that nothing bad is going to happen to you. It can happen. An accident can happen anywhere you are, as I mentioned in the previous classes. But at home, you feel safe, you feel warm, you don't feel alone because you know your family is there and you have a safe place, okay? A safe place in which you believe that nothing is going to happen to you, nothing bad. That is the physical needs. That are the things that are taken into consideration when you become a parent. Then the next one, number 2, is take care of their social and emotional needs. Parents help kids feel accepted and valued. You probably will feel that when you were a little baby or still right now, your parents tell you that they appreciate you a lot, that they love you a lot, that you're beautiful, that you're amazing, that you're intelligent. Therefore, you develop this kind of acceptance of who you are and the values that you have. Why? Because when you know and you feel that your parents love you, you know, like for example, you can always get a hug from your mom when you feel frustrated, when you feel sad, or when you feel like scared in certain situations. For example, let me tell you that there are some cases when you are just a kid, when you're a baby, that if you see something scary, or this has been proven by psychologists, that when kids see something scary or they have a nightmare or a traumatic experience, and at night they cannot sleep, a good thing that psychologists recommend is that the kid either sleeps with the parent or one of the parents takes their hand while they are sleeping. Why? Because in that case, they feel like they are being protected while they are sleeping, because we all fear the darkness when we're kids, and some of us, when we are adults, we tend to fight against that fear, and it doesn't become something fearful anymore. But little kids, when they are in those kinds of situations, they need that emotional support, that they are not alone and they are protected. The same happens when your parents give you a hug. When you go to a new place and you go with your parents, you feel safe because you know they are there not only to care for you and feed you, but also to protect you. As well, you feel valued because your parents will always want the best things for you and will always see you as the most valuable thing that they have. You, your brothers, and all the siblings that you have. Then take care of their mental needs. They will give them a good education and help them develop as individuals. I know, let me tell, I know that some of you do not like Inter-American school, okay? Because you may say it's hard, sometimes teachers may be in a certain way, or things may be in a certain way that we don't like. But let me tell you, all schools, every school that you can imagine has good and bad things, okay? Good and bad things. And this is either in public schools and private schools, and the most expensive ones, and the cheapest ones, in all of them, okay? In all of them, you are going to have good and bad experiences. That's part of life. Wherever you go, that's going to happen. But take into consideration that your parents have decided to inscribe you in one of the most prestigious schools in Santa Ana, and that is not a lie, that's a fact. Why? Because they want a good education for you. They want a better education that they can afford for making sure that you have a better future. And believe it or not, you have better opportunities at this school that you will have in any other school. Why? Because of the level that the level of education, and as well as the recognition that the school have. This will give you more opportunities in the future, and this will give you the chance to travel. You will see that many, probably, I don't have to tell you, you know that many students that graduate from Inter-American, they go to different schools in other parts of the world, either to Europe, either to North America, and many, many different places. And it's amazing, because that means that a good education, or education that is considered of higher value, is going to open you more opportunities. Because believe me, a kid that probably graduates from a public school is not going to have those kinds of opportunities, because they cannot afford that, or they don't have like the different universities and international education centers. They won't focus on the private school, and the public school, but on the private. Therefore, that's why they want the better for you. So point for your parents, because they have been one of the best schools and they want the best for you. And they help you develop as individuals. Why do I mean by that? That they want you to be the best human being that you can be, okay? What do I mean by the best human being? In life, you will find people that they are terrible human beings, but as well, you will find people that they are amazing human beings. What is the difference between one and the other? A terrible human being is somebody that doesn't respect the others at all. It's somebody that doesn't know how to value other people, that do not accept criticism, that do not accept the opinion of other people, and do not accept how the world changes and how new things are implemented. It's the kind of people that always will try to make others feel bad about their condition. It's the kind of people that will always want to insult others or solve everything with a fight or in a violent way, or they don't want to accept that they have mistakes and they always want to have the reason. That's a terrible human being. And believe me, in life, you will find many, many people like that fit in that description, that they just care about themselves, that they are liars, that they pretend to be a kind of person that they are not, that they want to play with you, that they want to take advantage of you, and many other people as well. You will find a lot of people like this in the world. But your parents, they don't want you to be a person like that, okay? Your parents are people of good intentions, of good values, and therefore what they want you is to become an excellent human being. And what's an excellent human being? A person that is, comprehensive with others, is compassionate. Why do I mean by compassionate? That you see that somebody is in need or in a difficult situation and you want to help that person to become better, or you want to help them to try to solve different situations. Oh, okay, I see that, Marco, you're raising your hand. I will give you the time after I finish, okay? Remember that after the explanation, I give you the time to participate. So they want you to be the kind of person that will understand others, that will be caring for others, that people are going to respect, not because they fear you, but because they like your company, because they know you're a nice person. That is going to be educated, and when you get to a new place, you greet everybody, you have a smile on your face, you show values, you respect other people's belongings, you respect other people's opinion, you respect other people's ideals. But overall, to not to bore you and not to make it this an hour-long class, they want you to be an excellent person, a person that everybody can say, I really like this person because he or she is an amazing person that has a lot of values and many, many positive things. So that is the thing that we need to take into consideration when we think about the effort or the different things that your parents are doing for you. That's the parents' contract. That's the things that parents do. And that, when you see it in that way, that helps you to appreciate your parents more because of the effort that they are doing for welfare and well-being. Then the consequences of teen parenthood. There is a difference between being a parent at an older age than being a parent at a younger age. The difference is that normally when you are older, you are more mature, you are a person that understands life better and know what's most important, and you have your priorities set and you know what you want in life. But when you are a teenager, you're still experimenting, you're still going through a process of change, and there are many, many things that are happening in your body and in your mind. And therefore, you are not ready physically, not emotionally, to be a parent. Why? I will tell you why with these reasons. First, you have fewer choices, okay? Parents do not have access to better education or better opportunities in a job. Why? In our country, it's really common that you will see that parents, they become parents when they are probably 16, 17, 18, in many, many different places because this is a poor country, okay? That is something that we all know. It's a poor country, there is a lack of education, and not only empirical education, but education in values. But what happens with these people? That they become parents at a young age. They don't have the opportunity to continue studying because, they have to take care of their children. They have to look for a job in which they can support the needs that I mentioned before for their kids. And many, many people, they get married or they start having babies when they are in high school or they enter the university. Therefore, they cannot continue because, there is a lot of rejection in this country that if you are a teenager who becomes a parent, you don't receive the support of your family and you have to look for a way in which you can handle yourself. So the next one, health risk. Bodies not completely developed to nourish children. In this case, this is more related to the women who get pregnant and they have a baby because physiologically, a body is not ready to have a baby when you're a teenager or when you're an adolescent. The reason why is because your body is still developing, okay? you will see if this was a biology class, you probably know that the body stops developing completely until you are 25 or 25 in the case of men and 22 in the case of women. That's the point in which your body stops developing completely, or the physical functions and mental functions are at a peak point. So that means that they are on the best point that they can be. Therefore, at a younger age, you're not physically prepared, and that includes a lot of risk, especially for women who are going to give birth to a baby, that they can have many health risks related to the, the birthing process, like because they can get hurt, they can die in the process, or they cannot have the nutrients necessary to make that the baby is healthy and grows and develops normally. Financial problems: do you have enough money to fulfill children's needs? Because at that time you cannot get a good job, you cannot get a job that is going to help you to satisfy all the needs that a kid should have because of the lack of experience and the lack of education. When you don't have that much education and experience, it's difficult to get a job that pays you well, but it's difficult to get a job that is going to generate enough money for you, your family, and your kids. Emotional and social stress: the pressure added of not knowing themselves is increasing by caring and helping a child. When you are a teenager, it's an age of discovery. Not discovery of new species of Discovery Channel, but the age of discovering yourself, discovering who you really are, discovering what you like, discovering your identity in many different ways, either the emotional way, physiological way, empirical way, and either, sexual way in some cases. You are developing all of those ideas in your identity. In this kind of period is when you're going to experience more changes. Changes in likes, changes in hobbies, changes in friendships, changes in ways of you behave, changes in music that you like, many, many different things that you will experience on yourself. I don't want to spoil your life. But what happens is that at times, since you are still discovering yourself, you cannot take care of a younger person because that requires a lot of responsibility, time, effort, money, and as well a lot of patience, comprehension, and many, many, many other values that I can tell you. But that means that knowing yourself is essential. When you're an adult, you already know who you are, you already know what you want, you already know the things that you like, and what you want in life. Therefore, it is better to be a parent at a later age. Okay, that's everything that is related to parenthood. I will stop recording right now.